In a quiet Idaho field, a boy stared at endless rows of soil. His name was Philo Farnsworth, and he was only 14 years old. While others saw dirt, he saw lines moving across space. Those lines became the foundation of something the world had never seen. He imagined images broken into lines, then rebuilt somewhere else instantly. It was not a dream, it was a system forming in silence. At school, he drew it carefully on a classroom blackboard. His teacher watched, confused but aware something extraordinary was happening. The idea was simple, yet no scientist had reached it before. Farnsworth believed electricity could carry images without moving parts. At that time, inventors trusted spinning disks and mechanical systems. But Farnsworth rejected that entire approach without hesitation or doubt. He imagined a stream of electrons scanning images line by line. The concept would later define modern television for generations. Years passed, and the boy turned his vision into reality. Inside a small laboratory, he built his first working system. It was called the image dissector, and it truly worked. No gears, no spinning wheels, only electronic motion and precision. For the first time, images traveled through pure electrical signals. The future had arrived quietly, without attention or recognition. Far away, powerful companies were watching developments closely. In New York, a media empire was already forming control. At its center stood David Sarnoff, a man of influence. He did not invent television, but he intended to own it. Farnsworth's invention became a threat to that growing empire. Not because it failed, but because it succeeded too well. Sarnoff saw not a partner, but a dangerous obstacle. And obstacles, in his world, were meant to be removed. Instead of confrontation, a quieter plan began unfolding. A strategy built on observation, patience, and silent advantage. RCA sent engineers to Farnsworth's laboratory under friendly pretenses. They asked questions, studied designs, and watched every movement carefully. Farnsworth welcomed them, unaware of their deeper intentions. Information slowly traveled back to corporate offices in silence. Soon, competing systems began appearing with striking similarities. The invention was no longer his alone in the public eye. What followed was not science, but a war of ownership. Lawyers replaced engineers, and documents replaced innovation. Farnsworth found himself trapped inside a growing legal storm. One he could not easily escape or control. RCA built a wall of patents around his invention. Each filing added pressure, confusion, and financial strain. The goal was not truth, but exhaustion and surrender. Farnsworth struggled to keep fighting with limited resources. Every case drained time, energy, and hope from his life. Yet he refused to give up what he knew was his. The courtroom became his final battlefield against a giant. Evidence was presented, arguments made, and history questioned openly. Then, something unexpected changed everything in a single moment. A witness stepped forward from his distant past. It was his old teacher, remembering the original sketch. The same drawing made years before any corporate claim existed. That memory became the proof no one could deny. It confirmed that Farnsworth was the true originator. The decision that followed shocked the entire industry. Farnsworth had won against one of the largest corporations. RCA was forced to recognize his patent and pay royalties. It was a rare victory, almost unheard of at the time. For a moment, truth seemed stronger than power. But that moment did not last long. The damage had already been done over years of conflict. Farnsworth was financially weakened and emotionally exhausted. His energy had been spent defending instead of creating. Then, the world changed with the outbreak of war. World War II halted production and slowed technological expansion. Television development paused across the country during those years. Meanwhile, Farnsworth's patents continued moving toward expiration. Time was silently working against everything he had built. When the war finally ended, everything moved quickly again. Television entered homes across America at an incredible pace. It became the center of family life and communication. A powerful industry grew almost overnight into a massive force. But Farnsworth was no longer at its center. He watched from the outside as others took control. At public events, different names were celebrated as pioneers. His contributions were rarely mentioned or fully recognized. The narrative had shifted away from the original inventor. Power had rewritten the story in its own favor. Farnsworth became a silent figure in his own creation. A witness to something he could no longer claim. This realization changed how he saw his invention forever. Television no longer felt like a personal achievement. It became something distant, something taken beyond his reach. He turned away from broadcasting and searched for new meaning. His focus shifted toward nuclear fusion and future energy solutions. Once again, he pursued something ambitious and transformative. But this time, recognition never followed his efforts. His later work remained largely unknown to the public. The world moved forward without noticing his continued contributions. His story slowly faded into quiet obscurity. Years passed, and television technology continued evolving rapidly. Screens became clearer, smaller, and more powerful over time. They carried images across continents instantly and effortlessly. Yet few people knew the origin of this technology. The name Philo Farnsworth became unfamiliar to most audiences. His invention remained, but his identity disappeared from history. This absence raises questions about how we remember innovation. And who truly receives credit for shaping the future. Farnsworth's life stands as a quiet warning about legacy. A reminder that creation does not guarantee recognition. The boy in the Idaho field changed the world forever. His idea became the foundation of modern visual communication. But history chose to remember others instead of him. His voice faded while his invention grew louder. Every screen today still carries his original vision. Every image still follows the lines he first imagined. Yet his name remains absent from most conversations. A genius hidden behind the success of his creation. A story lost beneath layers of power and influence. A legacy that survives without its creator's presence. In the end, Farnsworth did not lose his invention. He lost control over how the world remembered it. And sometimes, that loss is far greater than failure. Because it erases not the work, but the person. The world continued forward, unaware of what it forgot. And in that silence, his story quietly remains, waiting to be rediscovered by those who look deeper, waiting to be understood beyond the surface of history, waiting to reclaim the name behind the invention. Philo Farnsworth, the genius America chose to forget.